Morning, Chevra. Today is the 24th of Menachem of, and we are in the middle of Epistle 7 in Igeres HaKodesh, page 88, or on your app, whatever you're on there. In today's lesson, although all Yidden in every generation are connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu through all of Torah and mitzvahs, nevertheless, there are particular mitzvahs, and in particular times, that touch the neshama and channel HaKadosh Baruch Hu in an exceptional manner. So in Tanya, until now, the Alter Rebbe has explained the term chalkeinu. What does chalkeinu, our portion, mean? And now goes on to explain the term our lot, umanoim goydalenu. How pleasant is our lot? What's our lot? Signifying something bestowed exclusively and merited only by lot. By lots, when you draw it out and you get lucky, you win the lottery. Come sit down. Don't be shy. You may actually like it. So when we get the blessings and light of Hashem through your involvement in learning Torah and doing the mitzvahs, generally they come to every Jew equally. Okay, we got it. Why? For we have one Torah and one law. So if it's one Torah, it's equal to everyone. You learn, you daven, everybody's equal. All Jews are equally obligated to study Torah and do the mitzvahs. Doesn't matter how great you are, how simple you are. We all have the same pair of tefillin. It has to be black. Just because you're very wealthy, you can't have gold tefillin. Or you're very smart, you say, oh, I do more Torah than you. You're only obligated to do a little bit, learn a little bit of Torah. So therefore, we all get the same shefa and bracha from Hashem equally. Nevertheless, sometimes there's a more specific thing. So not always is every nefesh or ruach, the lowest level of soul, the ruach or the spirit or the neshama equal. Listen, every single person, every single human being, we all have our differences, right? So too with the soul. The fiesus man gilgulam obasam ba'olam hazeh. Obviously, when the soul comes into the world, it depends which generation you were born in. What's the Avir like? Were you born in the times of the Beis Hamikdash, or the times of the Rishonim or the Acharayim, or God forbid during the time of the Holocaust when life was so difficult you were running just to stay alive, or now when you have so much abundance and we get a little lazy? What's our challenge of today's generation, or whatever time your soul was in the world? So most souls of present generations are incarnations of souls that descended into the world in earlier times, and they came back in order to rectify some of the aspects of their previous incarnation. Maybe they missed a mitzvah, maybe they missed an opportunity. So now we have a chance to make it up. So the degree of radiation, the godliness that comes from Hashem through the performance of a particular mitzvah depends upon the era in which the neshama finds itself in the world. Very interesting. Our sages have taught us. Our sages of blessed memory quote the question: with what commandment was your father most careful? This is in Shabbos 118b, to which the answer was the commandment of tzitzis. What does tzitzis represent? The 613 mitzvahs. He was very particular in commandment of tzitzis, which incorporates all the mitzvahs. Okay, so what does this mean specifically? This means that the performance of this mitzvah of tzitzis kindled within this man a particular revelation. And it was this godly light that inspired his scrupulous performance. So he was very into tzitzis. He held them, he cared, he cherished them, he made sure every single day he looked at them. How often do we look at our tzitzis and we think about all the different knots and strings and everything else? So maybe there's a particular mitzvah that you relate to, that you connect with in a very deep way. In the spirit of this teaching and in the view of the fact that the three root letters of the word zahir, which means to be careful, it also means like to illuminate. The above quoted question has been understood by the Alter Rebbe as follows: as a result of which commandment was your father most luminous? And so too, so each particular person has their mitzvah that they connect with even more. Maybe it's a series of mitzvahs, but also it depends on the time and the generation and your surroundings that you live in. So not only do the neshamas differ, generations differ as well. There are generations whose primary spiritual challenges was studying Torah, and in other generations it was giving tzedakah. They were very poor, And in other generations, how many generations were challenged with the challenge of having a cell phone? None. We're the first. So we're trailblazers in having to make sure that we use it only for the right things. So the reason for this is that the souls of those generations were especially illuminated by the performance of those specific commandments. Just like an organ, the organs of man, each organ has its particular distinct function. Ayin lirois, oisin lishmaya, an eye to hear. I'm sorry, an eye to see and an ear to hear. Right? Everything has its particular thing. If a person, we talked about the foundation, you have to set up a strong foundation. You need your legs to be strong under you. People have weak legs, hips, ankles, knees, and they can't get around. It's hard to function, or a bad back. Everything has its particular place. So too, through each mitzvah that we do, each mitzvah being known as an organ of the king, it radiates a particular and distinct light from Hashem, the light of Hashem. That even though every Jewish soul needs to be reincarnated in order to fulfill all the 613 mitzvahs, how can we say that a soul that descended to this world is given a period and will receive its godly illumination as an individualized bequest, thereby necessitating particular specific mitzvahs? We're not living in the times of the Beis Hamikdash. Today's generation, how many mitzvahs do we actually accomplish? Approximately 82, give or take. Right? That's it. All the other mitzvahs, so many mitzvahs pertain to Eretz Yisrael, the Beis Hamikdash. So what do? So maybe our neshama comes from those times where they did all the mitzvahs, but they were so busy in the Beis Hamikdash, they didn't have time, whatever it is, to study Torah, to give tzedakah, whatever it is. Was a hiros, was a rizos, yeseda, this heightened attention focused on a particular mitzvah is necessary only for the sake of an additional measure of vigilance and zeal. Let's say, for example, a person's soul went through a number of gilgulim, incarnations in different generations, and fulfilled all the mitzvahs, but he didn't do it with an excitement. He didn't do it with a kach. He didn't do it with kavanah. Or he didn't do it with simcha, chas v'shalom. I come back and start over again. If there's Hashem b'simcha in every single mitzvah, he has to say, so he has to say, full of mechupelas, a zeal doubly and exceedingly elevated and powerful. The ma'ila mitzvahs, shar mitzvahs. He has to have such an excitement, far surpassing one's zeal in the fulfillment of all the other mitzvahs. So there's one mitzvah that didn't really pique his interest so much. He did it, but he didn't do it with an excitement. Come back and do it again. Okay? Hence the word most used by the above quoted individual when is asked, with what commandment was your father most careful? So scrupulous observance indeed applies to every single mitzvah. The question was only which commandment earned his most attention. Every mitzvah needs your full dedication and devotion. But which one was the biggest focus? Okay. So now, the superiority of this individual light that comes to an individual soul through the performance of a particular special mitzvah is not the category of apprehensible reason. It's not something that you could think about. I don't know why I love this mitzvah more than the others. My neshama is just pulling me. There's no rhyme or reason. I just get excited about this particular mitzvah. And for thus, it rose in God's thought, so to speak, that certain souls be granted additional illumination through the performance of a particular mitzvah. And its model below is truly the concept of a lot. What's a lottery? It's just luck of the draw. Why am I excited about this particular mitzvah? I don't know. So the fact that one person wins the lottery while the others do not, likewise, is not in the category of reason, just luck. We call it luck. Whatever happens. But actually, it's not luck. It's that Hashem decided this is what you're going to get. This is what you're going to get. The lot is cast into the lap from Hashem, and this then is the meaning of how pleasant is our lot. The disposition of a particular degree of godliness, illumination to a specific soul through the performance of a select commandment is wholly dependent upon a consideration that transcends logic. It's a lot determined from above. Hashem decided that you are excited about a particular mitzvah. All the mitzvahs that we have an opportunity to do that we should do, that we have to do, learning, davening, doing all the mitzvahs. We're in on all of them. But there's one that really speaks to me. And why? How should, how pleasant is our lot? Why should we be happy with our lot? Because Hashem chose this particular mitzvah for you to be extra excited about. Beautiful. So the takeaway is all mitzvahs are important for everyone, but ask yourself, within that, what's my personal mission? Which commandment do I need to pay more attention to? That's your homework for today.